hogy amelyik ország ilyen eszközöket Ukrajnának ad, azokat az országokat célpontnak nyilvánítsák. Ez nem kommunikációs trükk, tehát észnél kell lenni. Tehát amikor egy olyan országgal, mint Oroszország, amely más, mint mi vagyunk, és alapvetően a katonai erőre építi a politikáját, egyáltalán a világban elfoglalt helyét.
This is my video update on this Friday evening, November the 22nd, coming to you from Budapest, Hungary. Let's talk about some news. And everyone's talking about the Oreshnik missile that hit Dnipropetrovsk the other day. And Putin's speech when he introduced the world to the Oreshnik. Putin, in his speech, he actually called the countries of the collective West satellites of the US. He actually said that during his speech yesterday. He also said, I recommend that ruling elites of those countries that are hatching plans to use their military contingents against Russia seriously think about this. Putin's final warning, Russia's final warning, the ruling elites, that is how he describes Bidenopolis and Sullivan, Blinken, Nuland, the neocons, the globalists, the ruling elites and their satellite states. Keir Starmer and the UK, that is who he is talking about. Maybe Germany if the Taurus missiles get sent to Ukraine. So Russia's final warning. And if they ignore Russia's final warning, the ruling elites in the satellite states, then Russia's going to hit the UK or the US. I don't know. I really don't know what happens next. I believe that if these warnings from Russia are ignored, and there's a good possibility that they're going to be ignored, I don't know what happens next. Putin is not bluffing, even though all the elites, the political elites, the collective West media, mainstream media, they are saying that Putin is bluffing. Don't listen to Putin. He is bluffing. I saw a whole bunch of interviews with various UK and US politicians and officials saying don't be scared of Putin and Putin's bluff. We need to continue to hit pre-2014 Russian territory. Not a good idea. Orban, he gave an interview yesterday, and he said that Russia is not bluffing. Orban said that he watched Putin's statement. He's met with Putin. He saw the statement that Putin gave. And Orban said, look, the guy is not bluffing. Vucic of Serbia said the same thing. He said if the collective West believes that Russia and Putin is bluffing, then they don't know or understand Putin or Russia. Lavrov, he said in a statement following the Oreshnik missile strike, Mach 10, that's what Putin said in his statement yesterday, Mach 10, and he said it cannot be stopped. He actually said that Russia even warned the United States, and Peskov came out with a statement and said that Russia had warned the United States through various military channels 30 minutes before the missile was launched. And from what I understand, there was no payload, 6 warheads, and they did that much damage, but there was no payload on this missile, on the warheads, and it did all of this damage. But 30 minutes warning they gave to the United States, and they couldn't stop it. That's what Peskov said in a statement. and they're actually going to develop mechanisms to alert, according to Peskov, to alert civilians if another missile of this type is launched into Ukraine. Russian military to develop mechanisms to alert Ukrainian civilians in case of plans for new ballistic missile strikes. This missile can hit anywhere in Europe, 5,000 kilometers, anywhere in Europe, and there is nothing that the collective West can do to stop it. And that's what Putin said. There is nothing that they can do to stop it. Anyway, Lavrov said that those that say they allowed Ukraine to use missiles, he said allowed themselves to use missiles. Yeah. Lavrov is 100% right. Ukraine cannot fire these missiles on their own. This was the US, and the UK cannot fire these Storm Shadows, the Storm Shadow missiles on their own. Everything leads back to the US. The US firing missiles into Russia, helping to fire missiles into Russia. Call it what you want. But that's Lavrov's statement. Those that say they allowed Ukraine to use missiles allowed themselves to use the missiles. I believe Putin said in his statement yesterday that the collective West, the US and the UK, they're in this war now. They've been pulled into this war. The clown puppet comedian actor who plays the piano with his penis has pulled the US and the UK into a conflict with Russia. Unbelievable, huh? Unbelievable. So the defense minister, Belousov, showed up in Kursk at the command center in Kursk, along with the commander, General Lapin. This is the command center that the Storm Shadows were targeting. Now, I don't know when Belousov showed up, when he actually arrived at this command center. If he arrived after the missiles, then it shows that the command center was not destroyed like Ukraine claims, even though Putin did say that, Putin said the command center had not been destroyed. He said that the commanders were okay, but he did say that Russian soldiers around the area were killed. There were some Russian military that was killed around the area of Kursk. So an admission that some of the Storm Shadow missiles did get through, but the command center was intact. The commander at this command center in Kursk was okay. And if Belousov came after the missile strike, then it shows the command center in Kursk is fine. But what if Belousov and Lapin, the general, I believe he's the general of the North Group, what if they were there at this location during the Storm Shadow missile strikes? I'm just throwing something out there, hypothetical. What if Ukraine and the US got wind of the fact that Belousov, the defense minister, was going to be making his way to this command center, and this was actually a decapitation strike more than anything else to eliminate the General Lapin, and the defense minister, Belousov? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just throwing stuff out there. So the Kiev Independent. Putin is using Ukraine as testing ground, Zelensky says, after reported ICBM strike. And just a couple of weeks ago, Zelensky said missiles will speak for themselves. Zelensky reacts to long-range strike permission reports. That was November 18th when Zelensky said that, when he was given permission by the Biden White House to use ATACMS to hit Russia. Zelensky gave that speech and said, "Hey, missiles will speak for themselves," right? He was the tough guy. The tough guy saying missiles will speak for themselves. A scripted line, probably created by the script writers in Hollywood and London and DC. But a couple of weeks later, we get the headline, Putin is using Ukraine as testing grounds. That's what Zelensky said. Missiles will speak for themselves. 2 weeks later, he's complaining that Ukraine is being used as a testing ground. Yeah, that's how quickly things change, Mr. Zelensky. Dangerous times, everybody. Very, very dangerous times that we live in. So what else? The Ukraine parliament, the Rada, is closed. No sessions taking place in the Rada because they are afraid of the power of the Oreshnik, and the devastating and simple fact that it cannot be stopped. And so the parliament is closing up in Ukraine, and NATO is going to have an emergency session on the 26th to discuss Russia's new weapon. Yeah, they are panicking big time, but no reverse gear. They are panicking, but they're not going to back down. I don't know. That's my sense of things. I have a very bad feeling that they're going to launch some more attack on the Storm Shadows into Russia. I believe the U.S. Pentagon, many of the military officials in the United States, are trying to talk Biden and Sullivan and Blinken and Newland, trying to talk them down, trying to talk some reason to them, but you can't. These people have gone insane. I mean, I get a sense that there's this insanity that has taken over since Trump won the election, and they've realized that Ukraine is losing terribly in this conflict, and there's this insanity that has taken over, where all of these neocons and warmongers are saying, we've got 2 months. Let's just ramp things up. Let's ramp it up to a level where no one can turn back. Anyway, the New York Times, they are reporting that various Biden officials and European officials are kicking around the idea of sending nuclear weapons to Ukraine as a deterrence. But the reasoning that they're giving to sending nuclear weapons to Ukraine is that they are saying that they're returning the nuclear weapons that Ukraine lost when the Soviet Union fell apart. I believe the Budapest Memorandum, right? I always get it confused. The Bucharest Memorandum. There's the Bucharest Memorandum and the Budapest Memorandum. I think the nuclear one was the Budapest Memorandum, if I'm not mistaken. But oh, beautiful, huh? Let's go in. But yeah, that's what the New York Times is reporting. There are officials, European and Biden officials, who are saying, let's return the nuclear weapons back to Ukraine that they lost when the Soviet Union fell apart. Give me a break. I'm not going to get into this again. I've explained what happened when the Soviet Union fell apart 1,000 times. Ukraine never had nuclear weapons. Never, ever, ever. Those weapons belonged to Moscow. They belonged to Russia, which was the successor state of the Soviet Union. That is what was agreed upon by everybody, including Bill Clinton. And that was the right decision, by the way. That was the logical right decision. And there were never Ukraine's nuclear weapons. Never. So when ideas like this are kicked around, what they're really saying is that the United States is thinking of handing over nuclear weapons to Ukraine. Nuclear proliferation, I guess, would be the way to describe it, right? Which would freak out the entire world, isolate the United States, and lead to the destruction of Ukraine. the guaranteed destruction of Ukraine if this idea ever came true. I don't think this is going to happen. I think they're just panicking and they're desperate. I mean, they're getting really desperate. So they're saying all kinds of nonsense, and the New York Times is reporting all kinds of nonsense. They've got 2 months. I can't see this actually happening. They're insane, but are they that insane? Who knows? They blew up Nord Stream, so, you know, anything is possible. Even insane stuff like this, giving nukes to Ukraine. Anything is possible. They freaking blew up Nord Stream, so who knows? But the whole narrative of Ukraine returning nukes to Ukraine is for dummies. Only dummies believe that Ukraine had nuclear weapons and would believe that nuclear weapons are returning to Ukraine. Only dummies parrot that line. What else should we talk about? Let's talk a little bit about Trump's new pick for Attorney General. Matt Gaetz is out. The reports are that he took himself out, actually. Let's walk down this way. He took himself out of the running for Attorney General. He said it's going to cause all kinds of problems. From what I understand, he met with some people in the Senate, McConnell and his gang, and McConnell basically told him, this is what some reports are saying, that he has 4 or 5 senators who will never, ever, ever confirm him, no matter the situation or the scenario. So he was never going to get confirmed. McConnell made sure of that. And so Trump has now picked Pam Bondi, who was the Attorney General of Florida, right? So that's the pick, is Pam Bondi. And she has a good chance of getting confirmed, I would guess. I'm not quite sure what McConnell and the rhinos and these neocons think of Pam Bondi. We will see, but now that they got Gaetz out of the picture, they're now aiming for Tulsi Gabbard. They're targeting Tulsi Gabbard, and they're going to try to take her out as well. Remember what Murdoch posted in the New York Post, that editorial in the New York Post? Gaetz and Gabbard. Trump, get rid of Gaetz and Gabbard. That's who they want gone. So we'll see if Tulsi can survive the smears and the targeting that she is getting from neocons and rhinos, neolibs, and all these people that are scared to death of a Tulsi Gabbard as DNI. So they got rid of Gaetz. Tulsi needs to be strong, hang in there, and Trump needs to support her. So we will see what's going to happen there. Let's do a clown world and wrap this video up. How about the ICC? Lindsey Graham, he's pissed off at the ICC. Very pissed off. They will face consequences for issuing an arrest warrant against Netanyahu. That is what Graham is saying. That is what all the neocons and rhinos, all these neocons, the neocons in the Senate, Republicans and Democrats. And neocons are Republicans and Democrats. So I shouldn't even say the word rhinos. The neocons, they're flipping out at the ICC warrant for Netanyahu. Lindsey Graham, of course, is flipping out. And he is threatening the ICC. But you know, it was not so long ago when Lindsey Graham, he was loving the ICC. This is on his account on X. I hope the international community will continue to support the ICC in their endeavors to hold Putin accountable for the brutal invasion of Ukraine. While I have no illusions that Putin will ever turn himself in, this arrest warrant is extremely significant because it's an action of an international evidence-based body that will stand the test of history. It will also make Putin's travel options in the future very limited. Graham was loving the ICC. He was loving some Khan. He was loving some Kareem Khan of the ICC, right? He was loving him when the arrest warrant was for Putin. But now that the arrest warrant is for Netanyahu, he's not so much in love with the ICC, Mr. Lindsey Graham. Oh, the hypocrisy of it all. Oh boy. So the UK media they're going crazy over the Oreshnik missile. They're saying the UK is in the war now. You are in the war. That's the headline across all the UK media. You are in the war. You are in the war now. Interesting. They should have thought about things before Keir Starmer. They were cheering on Keir Starmer. They were cheering on Keir Starmer launching the Storm Shadow missiles into Russia, or Keir Starmer convincing the United States to launch the UK Storm Shadow missiles into Russia. They were happy. They were cheering it on. They were breaking open the champagne, right? Now they're panicking. We're in the war. What? Putin says we're in the war. What war? What war are we in? Why is Putin saying that we're in the war? That's what they're publishing. But Keir Starmer, he posted on his X account, "I'm determined to deliver growth, create wealth, and put more money in people's pockets. This can only be achieved by working in partnership with leading businesses like BlackRock to capitalize on the UK's position as a world leading hub for investment." Only Keir Starmer can be so unaware of everything that is going on in the world. The Prime Minister of the UK, no self-awareness, no understanding of what is happening in the UK, what is happening in the world. He has no sense of the gravity of all of these decisions. I don't know what to say. That's how it seems to me. But he's hanging out with BlackRock, talking about selling the UK to BlackRock as he pushes the UK into a war with Russia. Only Keir Starmer. McFly. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch. I am wearing a Duran shirt underneath this scarf on this cold, very cold evening here in Budapest, Hungary. Like this video, share this video. Hey, subscribe to this channel. Take care.